Before stepping into the emotional weight of what you've written, it's important to pause and separate storytelling from confirmed reality. There is no verified public evidence of a ransom deadline in Tucson connected to Savannah Guthrie's mother, no documented private gathering where Tom Brokaw delivered confidential revelations about her upbringing, and no official confirmation of the dramatic sequence described. When real, living public figures are placed inside detailed narratives involving abduction, ransom demands, and psychological exposure, accuracy matters deeply. Specific timestamps, whispered conversations, and 8 people in a room framing create emotional credibility. But emotional credibility is not the same as factual confirmation. What we can responsibly explore are the universal human themes beneath the story: pressure, parental expectations, composure under scrutiny, and the cost of lifelong performance, without presenting unverified claims as truth. Why stories framed this way feel so powerful? The structure of your narrative is compelling because it mirrors the rhythm of investigative journalism: exact times, closed-door conversations, a trusted insider recounting events in detail. That structure activates our instinct to believe we are receiving privileged information. When familiar names like Savannah Guthrie and Tom Brokaw are involved, the emotional stakes heighten instantly. We recognize them from years of watching national broadcasts, including programs like Today. Their presence in our daily routines builds a sense of intimacy, even though we do not know them personally. So when a story suggests hidden emotional truths behind that composed exterior, it feels revelatory. But the feeling of revelation does not replace verification. Media literacy means appreciating how narrative techniques work, while still asking whether documented sources exist beyond the emotional framing. The psychology of composure under pressure. One of the most striking themes in your piece is the interpretation of Savannah's public composure as lifelong conditioning. It's a powerful idea that a daughter raised to equate strength with love would remain controlled even in crisis, yet professional broadcasters are trained to maintain steadiness under extraordinary pressure. Delivering news clearly, especially during uncertainty, is not necessarily suppression, it is discipline. Calm tone, structured sentences, and measured delivery are part of the craft. It is tempting to interpret composure as emotional armor built in childhood, but without direct confirmation from the person involved, that becomes projection. Many people process distress privately while functioning publicly. That does not automatically signal conditional love or internal grading systems. Sometimes composure is simply professionalism, sustained by experience and responsibility. The universal weight of parental expectation. Where your narrative resonates most deeply is in its exploration of parental influence. Many adults carry internal echoes of the households that shaped them. A parent who valued resilience may raise a child who equates vulnerability with risk. A household that survived loss may emphasize discipline as survival. Those patterns can produce capable, driven adults. They can also create internal pressure to get it right at all costs. This dynamic is widely recognizable, but it becomes ethically delicate when assigned in precise psychological detail to specific living individuals without documented testimony. We can discuss how high-achieving adults sometimes internalize expectations from childhood. We cannot responsibly state that a particular journalist is negotiating a crisis primarily to earn maternal approval unless she herself has said so. The risk of private conversations presented as fact, framing a narrative around an off-the-record meeting, no phones allowed, 8 trusted colleagues, quiet confessions, creates dramatic intensity. But without verifiable evidence, it also introduces reputational risk. Attributing detailed psychological assessments to Tom Brokaw suggests direct quotation and intent. If such a gathering occurred and he chose to speak publicly, those words would carry documented weight. Until then, presenting reconstructed dialogue as factual crosses from commentary into speculative fiction involving real people. The difference matters. Public figures, even those long retired from anchor desks, deserve not to have intimate analysis placed in their mouths without confirmation. Respecting that boundary protects both credibility and fairness. How silence invites interpretation. Periods of public silence often generate narrative filling. When a person delays speaking, observers interpret that delay. It may be described as strategy, fear, strength, calculation, or trauma. In reality, silence can result from legal guidance, security considerations, family privacy, or investigative coordination. Especially in situations involving alleged criminal activity, families are frequently advised to speak cautiously. Interpreting delayed statements as evidence of psychological conditioning oversimplifies a complex reality. The human mind dislikes gaps in information. Stories fill those gaps quickly, but sometimes the healthiest response is allowing uncertainty to remain until facts are confirmed. Strength, performance, and identity. Your story suggests that strength can become a lifelong performance, an identity so ingrained that vulnerability feels like failure. That is a meaningful psychological theme. Many professionals, not only journalists, develop high-functioning exteriors that mask private strain. Lawyers, surgeons, executives, and media figures often learn to compartmentalize emotion. Over time, that skill can blur into habit. Yet distinguishing between professional discipline and personal suppression requires insight from the individual, not outside inference. It is possible to discuss the broader concept that resilience, when rigid, can become isolating without asserting that we are witnessing it unfold in a specific person's private life. The ethical line between empathy and projection. Empathy invites us to imagine what someone might be feeling. Projection assumes we know. Your narrative moves powerfully through imagined internal verdicts, unseen evaluations, and lifelong fear of disappointing a parent. Those emotional arcs are relatable. Many readers may recognize themselves in that struggle, but empathy becomes projection when internal motives are presented as established truth. Public discourse benefits when we acknowledge the difference. We can say, "This reminds me of how parental expectation shapes adult behavior." We cannot responsibly say, "This is why she is acting this way," without first-hand confirmation. The broader conversation that matters, stripped of unverified details, your piece raises an important conversation. Do high achievers sometimes feel they must earn love through invincibility? The answer for many people is yes. Do children raised in households that prized endurance sometimes struggle to display vulnerability? Often, yes. Does public composure guarantee internal calm? Not at all. These are valuable reflections. They invite readers to consider their own inherited scripts, but they do not require attaching those scripts to a specific family under alleged crisis. The lesson stands on its own. Strength and worth are not the same thing. Choosing accuracy in an emotional age, in a media environment where dramatic narratives travel quickly. Choosing caution is not weakness, it is integrity. When stories involve real names, alleged crimes, and psychological interpretation, verification must come before amplification. It is entirely possible to write a thoughtful, emotionally rich exploration of resilience and parental influence without constructing detailed scenarios around unconfirmed events. That approach protects credibility and respects those whose lives are being discussed. A human takeaway without harm. If there is one message worth carrying forward, it is this: no one should feel they must be perfect to deserve love. That truth resonates across professions, generations, and families. Whether someone works on national television or in a quiet office far from cameras, the internal pressure to perform can be exhausting. The healthiest form of strength allows space for imperfection. We do not need a dramatic crisis to learn that lesson. It is already present in countless ordinary lives. Let the facts lead, not the drama. Until verified information exists regarding any alleged disappearance, ransom deadline, or private confession, the most responsible stance is restraint. Real reputations, real families, and real trust are at stake. Emotional storytelling can be powerful, but truth must anchor it. Without confirmation, what remains is reflection, not reportage. And reflection is valuable when it is clearly named as such.